name's Brooke. I'm here at Community Fitness. Right now I'm going to show you a sequence you can do to help just flesh out your lower body. I typically do the sequence when I've been teaching on my feet for a long time, or I'm just walking a lot, or in shoes. It doesn't have to be high heels, but in shoes where your feet are cramped, and sometimes at the end of the night my lower body's still buzzing and I just can't seem to get to sleep. So let's get going. Start. This is the first posture I do. Come to all fours, arms, legs perpendicular, just a simple cat-cow. You're gonna arc your back, get really heavy here, soft heart. You're gonna inhale, round your back to cat, pushing the floor away, release your head, let it be heavy. And then exhale, soften your heart, arcing your back, right back to cow. And you just move with your breath. You're gonna inhale, round, releasing your head, releasing your neck, and exhale. So at least 5 rounds, that's ideal. You really wanna soften here. So I'll do one more. Inhale, pushing, broadening, lifting your back, abdomen to spine. Exhale, softening, melting, articulating one bone at a time. All right, my next posture is called the toe breaker pose. And I'm showing it to you right now. See, my toes are curled under, and I'm trying to spread my toes as wide as I can, give myself the best possible base. For some of you, it's just gonna be impossible, okay? So you can bring your hands forward and just bring some of the weight off your feet. And you can breathe here. And you just inhale, fill your body up. You wanna take at least 5 full breaths here. And then exhale, just hug your abdomen to your spine and push your hips back a little bit more to give you a more intense stretch and open up the soles of the feet. Okay. So to adjust and to modify, you can bring your body weight forward a little bit to take some of the pressure off. And you breathe here 5 full breaths, and you inhale, fill your body up. And then you exhale, you can use your hands and push your body weight back a little bit more into your hips to give you a more intense stretch. And if that's still out of the question, you can just have a seat, and then 1 foot at a time, you just work your foot. You can take each toe and just scissor your toes apart, pull them apart laterally. This feels really good. And you can just pull the foot back, open the foot this way, but you want to spend some time with your feet. That's the generality of what I'm trying to achieve here with my toe breaker pose. Okay, enjoy. Okay. So my next posture you want to do is to help flesh out the quadriceps. So to get into this one, you just take your hands behind you, roll the shoulders up and back. You can lift up into a tabletop. Take 1 foot at a time in on the ball of the foot and draw the knee down forward. Now that's going to want to bring the chest with it, but you got to draw a two-way stretch and draw the chest back. And you want to try to get that length through the front of the hip and pelvis. So I feel a nice stretch down through my quad. Don't worry about if your knee can touch the floor or not. Take 5 deep breaths. Inhale, fill up. And then exhale, reach down and forward with your knee as you draw the chest up and back in opposition. Should feel pretty good. Okay, my next posture, posture number 4, is a nice stretch for the calves. So you're gonna start kneeling, take 1 foot forward. You wanna be on the ball mound of the foot. You're gonna lean forward with your heel up, belly to thigh, breathe into your back. Inhale. And as you exhale, accent down through the ball of the foot, body weight forward, and you should feel a nice deep stretch along your whole calf muscle. Take a minimum of 5 deep breaths. Allow your head to relax and saturate your body with deep breaths into your back. And then you'd switch legs. All right, the next posture, number 5, is just to give your lower body some space, some separation. So you're going to draw your heels of the hands onto the tops of your thighs, right below your groins. And you're going to energy, press your thighs forward. You should feel an enormous stretch in your low back, low waist. And you just breathe here, big belly breaths. You want to make sure that you're not tucking and compressing and tightening your hip flexors right here. You want to see if you can hollow your groins. So you're arcing your back almost. You feel the tip of the tailbone. And you just try to create some space, and you're not doing anything to tense your abdominals. You're just trying to elongate through the front of the spine. You're trying to draw your thighs away from you and see how spacious and long you can get between your pelvis and all the way up into your hips. All right, the next posture, number 5, is just to give your lower body some space, some separation. So you're going to draw your heels of the hands onto the tops of your thighs, right below your groins. And if you're going to energy, press your thighs forward. You should feel an enormous stretch in your low back, low waist. And you just breathe here, big belly breaths. You want to make sure that you're not tucking and compressing and tightening your hip flexors right here. You want to see if you can hollow your groins. So you're arcing your back almost. You feel the tip of the tailbone. And you just try to create some space, and you're not doing anything to tense your abdominals. You're just trying to elongate through the front of the spine. You're trying to draw your thighs away from you and see how spacious and long you can get between your pelvis and all the way up into your hips. There you go, right into your hip stretch. So you're going to bend your knee, draw your ankle to the opposing shin. Keep your pelvis nice and square. Flex your foot, lock your knee joint to unlock your hip. You can use your hand and press your thigh away from you. For some of you, that will be plenty stretch for your outer hip. Others of you can pick up your opposing thigh or foot, hands behind your hamstring, and gingerly pull the shin bone toward you. Keep your hips square. And breathe. So posture number 8, we're just going to nice flush out our low back with a simple twist. We're just going to inhale, windshield wiper our legs one direction, and then exhale the other direction. So I do about 3 with this rhythmic breath. Inhale, and then exhale. You want to keep the shoulder heads back and broad on your mat, allowing your opposing hip to lift as your knees go one direction. Good, then you can switch up the breath. You can inhale, and then you can exhale the other way for another full 3 rounds of breath. And keep lengthening your spine. Keep that length in that abdomen nice and long. One more time. Inhale. Should feel really good in the low back. All right, moving on. All right, posture number 9, just a nice way to stretch the low back, is lying supine. Hold on to the knees or behind your hamstrings and just gently lift your hips up. Massage your low back or your back. Your hips can be up and you're breathing into the small of your back. You can take big circles, little circles, you can go side to side, but the objective here is just to stretch your low back. Okay, some of you may want a little more sensation. If your neck is nice and healthy and strong, you can lift your hips up and over. You can support your low back with your hands. You can keep the legs long, reaching the heels back, or some of you might be able to bend the knees, and that will increase the stretch in your low back. Again, 5 deep breaths. You're just going to inhale. Try to expand your back laterally, left to right, right to left, and then exhale. Just gently empty all your air from your lungs. Do at least 5 full deep breaths, and then gently rock and roll up to seated. Try. All right, last one, posture number 10. Simple seated forward fold. To get into this one, it's essential that you keep some contact between your thighs and your stomach. So you're going to inhale. I'm going to bend my knees to allow my torso to lean forward so I can become one, belly to thigh. You're going to inhale, lengthen, and exhale. You can release your head here. And some of you stay here because you want to keep your abdomen on your thighs. And you got that leverage of support, thighs supporting your back. And you breathe into your back. Now, if you want a little bit more, you have open hamstrings and hips. You can take your hands to your feet or shins, and you can move one sit bone at a time back. Again, sustaining your belly on your thighs. Release your head and breathe deeply. Saturating your back more wide and more long. Make sure you hold that for at least 5 breaths.